somebody who has moved her bedtime successfully from 1 a.m. to 10:30 p.m., let me tell you how it improved all aspects of my life. From being stressed to mental negativity, being unproductive and unfit. I'm now on a path to mental positivity, enhanced daily productivity and being healthy. There was a time when I would decide that I wanted to sleep by 10:30 p.m. But as soon as I hit the bed, I would not be able to sleep. I wanted to do a ton of things before that, like scrolling Instagram, finish an office assignment before the end of the day, read a book. This eventually led to a very late night. Typically, if you sleep late, you will not be able to wake up early, and then the vicious cycle continues. This sounds familiar to you as well. I'm so glad that you've decided to change it up for yourself. This was me 6 months back when I decided to take things in my own hands and make a change. I wanted to make sure that I sleep on time every single day without a miss, because no sleep results in being unproductive, slow processing of inputs, and eventually leads to a lot of stress over time. The secret to that is creating a system, and for that we need to understand how our body works and the mechanism of it. Let us take a step back and understand it. The most important influence in our body for the same is called circadian rhythm. And rhythm is defined as the physical, behavior, and mental changes that an organism experiences over a 24-hour clock. A Zeitgeber, which is a German word, is essentially an environmental cue that synchronizes an organism's circadian rhythm to the Earth's 24-hour light and dark cycle. This word comes from German and literally means timekeeper. For the sleep cycle, the circadian rhythm follows the process of light and dark. Of course, while these two are the major factors, there will be other factors such as exposure to artificial light, stress, work, environmental factors. Due to this circadian rhythm, every time day turns into night and our body understands this as the dark cue, it releases melatonin. And this in turn induces sleep in us. However, there are frequent disruptions. For example, we might have an early morning flight, we have a late night party, we had a very heavy meal and we could not sleep at night, and thus this over time repeated instances of such disturbance in the circadian rhythm really causes a misalignment. Most of us sleep so late at night and we struggle to wake up in the morning. Of course, from a Monday to Friday hectic work routine, we really want to unwind on a Saturday late night, and that leads to a party, which essentially makes our Sundays unproductive. Using the phone every single day before sleeping is a sure shot way to goof up the circadian rhythm as well. So in the instance that you have messed it up, let's see what we can do to solve it. So the first step is to understand why exactly it's getting messed up for you and where you can make changes. We have to identify the specific issue that is causing a problem for you. The National Blood, Lung and Heart Institute of USA has a PDF on their website, which I'm going to link in the description box. This has really helped me identify where I am going wrong. So they have a list of questions for both AM and PM that you need to answer. These are more or less the questions that they ask. Take a look at it, and you'll be able to understand where exactly you're going wrong. They've included caffeine intake, sleep, exercise, all the sort of factors that influence our circadian rhythm for our sleep cycle. This is an excellent way to track your activities for a week, and once you find your pattern of what you're doing wrong and when is it that you're sleeping late, you'll be able to easily identify which factor it is for you that's causing trouble. If I had designed it, I would make one small change, that is, I would have to include the usage of mobile before sleeping, and I highly recommend that you do it. There are several ways of getting a circadian rhythm on track. The holy grail method that works for me is setting up a bedtime routine. That always works. It gets the melatonin naturally flowing. If you have read Atomic Habits, which I highly recommend, you would know this quote. It's a powerful quote by the author James Clear, and it says that you do not not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And that is absolutely correct in whatever you do in life. So what I did was curate a 6-step bedtime routine for me, which worked wonders. So my typical bedtime routine starts at around 9:30 p.m. I don't say that you have to do the same, but make sure you start at least 1 hour before your target sleep time. That gives you sufficient time to relax. So the first step in the process is that I take a bath with lukewarm water. This essentially not only rinses the dirt from my travel to and fro office, but also helps me feel really relaxed and somehow take the mental burden off me. If I have to do any thinking, I do it in the shower, and I possibly come up with a solution there and close it off the discussion. I close off the discussion in my mind itself. Once I step out of the shower, I'm relaxed. The next thing is that I change into comfortable bed and nighttime clothes. It is super essential that you choose the right kind of clothing for yourself and what you are comfortable with. For example, I wear shorts because I need my legs to be sort of open and I feel comfortable that way. And on top I wear a baggy t-shirt. The reason behind this is that I turn on the AC and I know that my blankets are going to cover my legs, but sometimes the blanket moves on the top part of my body. I will feel cold and that will disturb me. So I make sure that I'm super comfy and I have cotton clothes which help my body breathe. So make sure that you have the right material, which is essentially cotton, and you have a preferable bedtime clothing in which you are comfortable. The third thing I make sure is that the temperature of my room is set to a proper degree. I am super comfortable at 24 degrees Celsius more or less all year around. I live in Mumbai and there's not too much fluctuation except for the monsoon times when it's actually a little cold. However, we still sort of like to put it at 24 degrees Celsius and that works perfectly for me. So in case you do not have an AC and it's a fan or a cooler at your end, make sure that you know which fan speed works for you so that you keep it at that. In case you live with family or your partner, you'll probably have to work it out with them to make sure that it's at a comfortable speed for both of you. As per experts, the ideal temperature of the room and the bed should be anything between 15 to 19 degrees Celsius for a good night's rest. But for me, that's a little too cold, so I suggest that you experiment with the temperatures at your end, then figure out the right spot. Post that, I head to the kitchen to make a warm drink for myself, and this is a drink that I've discussed with a lot of dietitians over the last few years because I've had an issue of not being able to sleep at night, and I realized this is the perfect concoction for me. Take a note of all the ingredients and do give it a try. In case you are hesitant, discuss it with your physician or dietitian and try it. It's going to work wonders. So the combination is that you warm a cup of milk. Ideally take full fat, any brand milk that you get because it's going to be thick and luscious. After that, add once it's slightly warm, add saffron strands, add a bit of cashew powder, add 1 pinch of turmeric, little bit of pepper, and a very, very small pinch of nutmeg. This is the magic concoction which will instantly put you to sleep. So turmeric and cashews help to increase the levels of serotonin and melatonin in the body, and that helps you to relax. To absorb the turmeric in the body, you need to put pepper. So that's a definitely add-on whenever you're using turmeric. Nutmeg, in fact, is actually a very powerful natural sedative, so you must use very little of it. All of them together with milk is a kick-ass bedtime drink. In case you don't consume milk because you're lactose intolerant or you have gut issues or bloating, you can have the same with almond milk. That should do the trick as well. I'm assured assuring you, once you try this, you're going to rate it not 8 or 9 out of 10, you'll definitely rate it 100 out of 10. So once I'm done making my warm drink, I head back to the bedroom and turn off the main light. I suggest you get a really nice bedside lamp which makes your atmosphere very relaxing. So once my main light is off, I turn on my bedside lamp. It has a warm yellow glow which makes the room super calm. Once I'm comfortable in my bed under my blanket, I prop up a pillow against the bedstand and then I read a few pages of my favorite book and sip my drink. So typically by 10:20 p.m. this is more or less done, and then I turn off the light. Post this, I need 10-15 minutes to doze off because either I'm talking with my partner or I have some thoughts in my mind running, and I close them off and I eventually doze off. In the instance that you have thoughts racing through your mind and you're not able to sleep, just sit up on the bed, close your eyes, take a deep breath. Essentially, you want to meditate for 5 to 10 minutes, very light meditation, and it has helped me a lot. So that was my bedtime routine, which you can just follow. It's super simple, and the warm drink is the trick to the sleep. There are other pointers that are very crucial that you should take care of during the day, so that at night when it's time to fall asleep, they don't end up being obstacles to it. The first thing is keep a regular meal schedule, especially for dinner. Make sure that you have a gap of at least 3 hours between your bedtime and your dinner time. Not only will it make you feel full before you sleep, which is quite a bit of uneasiness that you would feel, it would also lead to digestive issues. Next point is something that truly affects me. Do not sleep during the day if you're somebody who will not be able to sleep at night. So if I sleep for at least say 1 hour or 2 hours during the day, especially this happens on weekends, I am not able to sleep at night. So I have stopped sleeping in the afternoon even on weekends, so that my sleep schedule is on point. In case you do need to rest and you're feeling super tired in the afternoon, make sure that you do it for only 15-20 minutes and not beyond a certain point. For example, for me, the cutoff time is 4 p.m. If I sleep anytime before 4 p.m., it's sort of okay for me. But anytime after 4 p.m. is guaranteed that I will not get sleep at night. Exercise has a positive impact on your sleep schedule. Experts recommend that you work out at least 2 hours before your bedtime, as exercise releases endorphins and increases your body temperature. So within 2 hours or after that, your body temperature sort of cools down, and so does the endorphins, and this helps you sleep better. The last point is something that all of us sort of grapple with. We need to reduce the consumption of caffeine and alcohol. What caffeine does is reduce the duration of the sleep time. Caffeine does not let us sleep. And what alcohol does is that it reduces the quality of sleep. Some of us might be thinking that, having alcohol, you just instantly pass out. It's not sleeping. It's just that your body is intoxicated and it's not sleeping or resting or repairing. It's trying to get rid of the alcohol from your system. So don't confuse the two. Try and limit your intake of caffeine and alcohol both. The last point is so crucial for all of us. It's actually managing your exposure to artificial light at night. And this is something that all of us are guilty of. All of us tend to reach for our mobile phones just before sleeping, and that is a huge obstacle for us to fall asleep. Light is the strongest signal in the environment which helps to reset the circadian rhythm, which means that when your eyes are not supposed to be exposed to light, it's getting exposed and creating a havoc in your rhythm. So essentially, you need more sunlight during the day and less of light exposure during. You should use light blocking filters. You can use apps which dim your phone if you really need to use it, and any other sort of method that reduces your exposure to light. Now that you know that the essential thing to be able to fall asleep is to build a bedtime routine, I suggest the first thing you do after watching this video is to create your own. In case you want, put it in your comments so that others also get inspired from your personalized bedtime routine. Thank you so much for sticking around till the end. See you next week.